Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Erin. Now, I want to expand my mission here. I'm making it a point to promote both unconventional and traditional career paths because most of us either are in or have gone to college or some sort of formal training in order to pursue a traditional form of employment. Self-employment is great, but not everyone aspires to that, and that's okay. Imagine if everyone wanted to be a musician or an actor. We wouldn't have anyone left to help humankind progress, whether that be through teaching, legal help, medical care, child care, etc. I want to appreciate those careers that you don't see on mainstream social media or TV. So with that being said, today we have a critical and correctional care RN, Miss Kiara Jones, who also blogs about her profession as HeyNurseKiki. Kiara, it's been a long time coming. I'm so excited to get this interview with you.
Hey, it's your girl Nurse Kiki. I am super stoked about being considered for this interview. Thank you so much, Erin.
Yeah, so let's begin with how you got started with the RN career path. Talk about where you were in your life and financially.
How it all got started. Oh my goodness. I can write a book about how it all got started because it started, it stopped, it started again, it stopped, started, it stopped. Like it was a path that was filled with turbulence, I must say. Initially, what led me into nursing was because I was actually going down a dark path. At the time, I was in pharmacy prerequisite classes. I worked as a pharmacy technician both in retail and long-term care. And I was working 2 jobs while being in school full-time. And I was pregnant with my son at the time. I was going through so much depression, and I would fail classes and I would keep going back and I would fail them again, and it just didn't drive home to me that, you know, I need to really sit back and analyze, is this really and truly what I want? And I think the more semesters that I enrolled in and the amount of time that I'd spent while I was at work, you know, one day I just sat back and I was like, you know, for one, I felt as if specifically in pharmacy, the opportunities were not the greatest. I felt like I was either stuck between long-term care, hospital, or retail, and I wanted more variety. So my best friend, she actually started nursing school, and she persuaded me to go. At first, it was so hard for me to change my mind because I'm like, I want to be a PharmD. I want to be Dr. Jones or Dr. whoever my future husband's last name would be. You know, that was stuck in my head. Pride killed me. And one day I looked at my GPA and I was like, okay, well, I have to do something about this. So I really evaluated what it is that I really and truly wanted to do. And I felt nursing was the best fit for me. It blew my mind. Like literally, you can do any and everything with a nursing degree. Like seriously, so many specialties. It's ridiculous. So that was one of my deciding factors. Another deciding factor is even though we work 12-hour shifts, best believe you're on your feet and time goes by super fast. So a 12-hour shift actually feels like an 8-hour shift. But you're all 4 days. You spend majority of your time, if you choose, unless you want to work overtime. But you have 4 days to just do you. Like if you want to be creative, you have 4 days to do that. If you want to invest a lot of time into motherhood, you can do that. If you want to invest time just chilling at the house watching Netflix, you can do that. And I love that aspect about nursing because I always wanted to be in a position of where I did not want my job to consume me and put me in a position of where my job equates to my identity. So that was a huge factor that made me consider nursing. And another aspect is just I'm a strong communicator. I love to be around people. I love to be around young people. I love to be around older people. And I knew that whenever I went into the field of nursing, I was going to be exposed to any and everybody. As far as diversity, I knew that I was going to get that in nursing. So yeah, those decisions is really what made me want to pursue nursing.
So what sparked your interest in the medical industry, nursing in particular? What was the situation that encouraged you to give this a real shot, considering how rigorous the curriculum is for a nursing degree? But of course, there's no comparison to your experience with pharmacy.
Oh my goodness, what was the catalyst? The catalyst was my son, hashtag King Joe. Whenever he came into this world, I felt as if all of my anxiety, all of my depression literally stared me in my face. And it showed me that either I'm going to have to deal with this and consider what it is that I want to do in the future, or I'm not going to be the parent that I'm supposed to be to my son. It was my obligation to figure out what it is that I was intended to do, because I knew that I wanted my son, a replica of me, to know what it is that he wanted to do in life. So basically I buckled down and, I did a blueprint. I wrote out my pros and my cons as far as, whether or not I wanted to pursue pharmacy or whether or not I wanted to pursue nursing. And I actually considered a program, and again, my pride was getting the best of me, but it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because it was a program that was income-based housing, and it was specifically for a community of people that are single parents, whether or not you be a single mother or a single father, that is interested in pursuing education. So they allowed you to be able to have the time to, if you wanted to work PRN, or if you felt like, school was too chaotic, to not work at all and not have to worry about the financial aspects of adulthood, and just solely focusing on obtaining your degree so that you can get through school and, live a better life. With my son being on my mind and knowing that he was my main responsibility, in addition to having that opportunity to pursue assisted housing, it was those two in combination created a situation that I will never forget. It literally was the driving force that led me to becoming successful in nursing school.
Yeah, a lot of us have had assistance in getting us to the point of smooth sailing. I know I have. No one is truly self-made. And children will make you see life with a totally different lens. I'm realizing that now. So your first nursing job, how did you find it, and what do you attribute as the reason why they chose to work with you?
My very first nursing job was actually in a coronary care unit. It's also known as a cardiac ICU. Now, if anyone on here is in nursing school, or if you know anyone, or if you are a nurse, then getting a job as a new graduate in the intensive care unit is a pretty big deal. But I'm gonna let you in on some tea. The reason I feel I received that job is due to the fact that while I was in nursing school, I worked as a nurse extern. So like I said, pharmacy experience, yeah, it's very beneficial as far as nursing to have a background on medications. But what about application, and what about the clinical aspect? I did not receive that in pharmacy. So I knew, in order for me to look as though I was a good candidate whenever it came to me pursuing job opportunities, yeah, I had to put myself in that environment of that of a nurse. And that's exactly what I did. I spent my nurse externship majority of my time in nursing school, working, getting paid pretty much to shadow a nurse and facilitate with discharge teaching. Yes, you heard me.
I heard you. And your blog. Where did your inspiration for the blog as a whole come from? Obviously your career in nursing, but is there more to the story? And what do you feel is the overall reason why you chose to put yourself out there to be heard?
I put myself out there because I wanted to speak to people that were in similar situations such as and I knew at the time, when I felt as if I was at rock bottom, that there was no way out. I don't want to see people in a situation like that and not try to look for a way out. So I knew that I wanted to be the voice, the vessel to those that witness those situations in life, just to try and be an inspiration and encourage them in some way or another. I also knew my situation was not the same as most. I'm not that traditional girl. Most people would consider me to be a statistic. And I feel as if a lot of people are in situations in which they have pitfalls and they feel like they can't find a way out, and there is a way out if you really and truly search for it, and if you really and truly believe that there is a way out. So yes, I definitely wanted to speak to those individuals. That's honestly what led me to creating my blog. So one of my biggest pitfalls in nursing is that I never realized how much of myself I was unaware of until I started nursing, specifically with time management. What you do at home on a routine basis, a lot of the times you bring whenever you're at work, and it's either going to make or break your day. Me, I tend to be a on the go type of person. I tend to be a person that does not plan, and nursing literally put that to a halt because I had no choice but to think ahead. I had no choice but to plan out my day. So it definitely molded me and created me to become a lot more disciplined, and that kind of ties into my blog too. And honestly, I'm glad that I started nursing and worked as a nurse and then transitioned into creating my blog, because I feel like with my blog, it really boils down to consistency. You have to be consistent in what it is that you love. You can't think about the negative when it comes to what it is that you love. You can't think about how many views or how much promotion it is that you'll be getting and how much support it is that you'll be receiving on your blog when it comes to what it is that you love, because it's coming from you. You are the one that's bearing fruit to this creation. Other people are just a witness. So it definitely taught me that, just, this, as far as both in nursing and in my blog overall, I would definitely say some of the major pitfalls that I have encountered is when I was very fearful of my capability.
Okay, I have to mention this one here. COVID. How has the current events shaped your mindset and your performance at work? Do you feel a change as far as personal fulfillment, or do you have any anxiety or regret?
Oh my goodness, COVID-19. Yeah, oh my gosh. So initially, I was extremely nervous. I was extremely nervous about the fact that not only was I potentially exposed, but my son was potentially exposed. My family members would be potentially exposed, because I am the one that is facing this every single day I clock into work. It was very scary. I felt like I was secluded from everyone that I was close to, because I was fearful of potentially having them exposed to a virus that I was unaware of, because as you know, many people can be asymptomatic. So initially it was very, very, very rough. How I am able to adapt by looking at the teammates, the team members, my friends, my family, being able to look around and see that they're going through the exact thing that I'm going through, and they're still killing it, and they're still coming to work, and we're still supporting each other. That is kind of what more so transitioned my anxiety to pretty much being fearless in relation to the COVID-19. When you think about it, when you have a patient that is in a position to where they are facing these symptoms that COVID-19 that manifest in patients that have COVID-19, they need a nurse. They need to be able to look into the eyes of someone that is fearless. So yes, that is definitely what has transpired in relation to COVID-19. I think that this is a virus that will literally either make or break you. And I feel like in my profession, specifically in critical care, you have to overcome your feelings. You have to consider the patients that you take care of every single day. And you have to continuously pray and just show love to those that you're surrounded by and those that you love. Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Your contribution to society is even just as important, even more than celebrity news. I have to reiterate that. And it's important to emphasize the sacrifice of you and all of those on the front lines, because you guys have kids and families to take care of that depend on you, just like myself and the patients entering these care facilities. So thank you. Okay, for future readers, Kiara, how can we stay connected with you?
So if you guys like my story, if you like what it is that was shared today, continue to stick around for more on my blog, HeyNurseKiki.com. I'm also on Instagram at HeyNurseKiki. So, what y'all waiting on? What you waiting on?
All right. All of you watching, make sure you tune in to HeyNurseKiki.com.
Again, Erin, thank you so much for allowing me to do this interview. It was just a breath of fresh air to be able to just do this and express myself. And you are a jewel, baby girl. Continue to do these interviews. I love your blog. I hope that we will continuously have many more connections. Bye.
Thank you for doing this interview, Kiara. You are entertaining yet informative, and we need you out here giving us life and positivity like you are with your blog. So, thank you. Remember to follow Kiara on Instagram at HeyNurseKiki and check out her blog at HeyNurseKiki.com. Interview highlights will be on the blog at erinlodge.com. If you like this video, please share it, especially this one. We have so many nurses on the front lines that will be so encouraged to see this, so please share it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you like. And as always, until next time, bye babes.